What's up, guys? We are back with another episode, and we got a Jet coach in the house. Hit that applause, Sabi. We got that going. We got Isaiah Sierra in here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself, brother.
My name is Isaiah Sierra. I went to Empire High School, grew up in Tucson, 520 native. Left out to college, straight out of it. All the JUCOs got closed down in Tucson, so I had to leave out to California. A little bit before that, I grew up with my nana and tata. People don't see it because they see the skin, but I'm really Mexican on the inside. But yeah, man, life is crazy. I learned that at a young age, and just trying to ball now. And everywhere I know.
Trying to have everyone else balling up now too, coaching. We're gonna get into all that, but like I said, I always like doing something fun. So here's a question, man. It's a dark room kind of like this.
Yeah.
And we got all the coaches. We got me, Sam, you, everyone that's a coach at Jet or considered a coach. I'm not a media guy. Against Bobby and Jose, who comes out alive?
Man, against Bobby Jose, I think honestly, Bobby is the biggest threat.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Jose.
But at the end of the day, man, just because the skin color, bro, I'm disappearing and I'm taking out you all.
Oh my God. Survival of the fittest at that point.
Yes, I'm keeping around the corners, maybe jump off the roof, something.
Oh, geez. All right. We'll never do that.
All right.
So now let's start diving into your story, brother. So who put a football in your hand for the first time? And you also did wrestling too. So I want to hear a little bit about that.
Who put a football in my hands the first time? It was a doctor.
It was a doctor?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, I was a big kid, right? My whole entire youth, I was overweight. I was pushing 200 pounds by like at least 4th, 5th grade. So it was nothing good, going to the doctors, going and getting physicals. And they were just like, you need to get them in sports. Tried every sport, tried baseball, tried basketball. And they just weren't my thing, the too much running. And then come football season, my Theo actually put me into a club with his son and everything like that. Then kind of just took off. When I was younger, I still remember now the first lap, I was a kid all the way in the back that people lapped to come push on the back and be like, come on, you can make it. So, yeah.
What team were you on? What junior Pee Wee team or?
I was on the Wolverines.
The Wolverines. Oh shit. Oh, Empire. That's Empire area, right?
Yeah. Kind of, sort of. Wolverine, Lakeside area. That's where we practiced. And then from there, I went over to the Badgers, Steelers, Saints, and then left off to high school.
So Empire High School, brother. Yeah. Tell us a little about that. What was your experience like? How many years did you make varsity? And I know there's a story your junior year that I want to get into too.
Well, before my junior year, let's just knock it back down to my freshman year. Right? My 3rd game of the season, I'm playing running back, blocking for my QB. My old lineman gets blocked straight into my knee, right? And it fractures my knee. So I'm out for 7 games. Come back that year, play the last 3 games, 2 on varsity. My last game was on my first 2 games were on JV. My last game was on varsity my freshman year. Had a hell of a game my freshman varsity debut. I still remember he punts the ball and I'm on punt return.
Yeah.
Guy catches the ball. I'm coming around. There's like 3 dudes, bro. It's my last game of the season.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Take out all 3.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. So it was kind of tough. It was tough.
That's awesome. So I want to dive into that a little bit because hurting yourself freshman year is not easy. And a lot of times that can make someone just say, hey, I'm done. I'll go do something different. What was your mindset like to make sure you got back on the field?
When I was younger, I wish I can say right now I had a mindset to just get back on the field. Like I had the hunger for it. But now I was just a kid. I just love the sport. I just love how it made me feel. I love being around brothers, and that's what really pushed me to get back, especially within the season. And going to PT and everything, figuring out what I was capable of more than I have ever been pushed before. That's what really got me started.
Yeah. All right, so your freshman year happens, it ends. What was the team like? Did you guys make playoffs or what happens there?
Nah, my freshman year, we didn't make the playoffs. We actually played Pueblo in our last game to make it to the playoffs. We ended up losing.
That's the Pueblo High School?
Yeah.
What's his name? Man, he's coaching at U of A now. He was dang. I can't remember that. Who's the old Pueblo coach?
I don't even remember.
Dang
I
it.
was just young.
I felt bad now because he was cool. He was super cool with me when my dad was a principal over there. So what starts changing? Because now when do colleges start reaching out to?
College, okay, so the junior year, and like you said, we'll get to that, but junior year is a crucial year for a
Yeah.
high school athlete. Like, that's just period, right? That's when coaches are okay. This is who's on our radar. Let's watch them for the junior year. Let's keep them on our radar if they have a standout junior year. So, come my junior year, well, sophomore year, I was still big, I was still
Yeah.
chunky, and I went from playing running back to D line and O line because there
Oh
was just a
shoot.
lot of older kids than me, and
Yeah.
I was just like, I just want to see the field, and that's
You
kind
got
of
you gotta do what you gotta do to get
yeah.
playing time at that point.
And from there, come my junior year, I had a heck of a summer, right? My bros, his dad used to train us basically the same way Jet does, right? We used to go out Saturdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Saturday, Wednesday, Friday. We'd go out to Empire's Field and he would just put us through a hell of a workout. And it was constant, constant the whole summer, just dead heat, dying. So come my junior year, it was the best shape I've ever been in. You know,
Yeah.
it was the best shape the team had ever been in because there was at least 15 of us out there just because my friend's dad. So I'm a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Um, for all of it, I'm not gonna say to go down the drain, but a big shock, right? I was in Sahuarita, right? My first knee injury my freshman year, I was at Walden Grove, and then my
Oh
second knee
shoot.
injury, I was at Sahuarita, literally a mile down the road. Same weather, it's raining, it's this, it's hailing, it's storming. Come before half, I'm playing defense. I'm running, running, running to go make a tackle. The guy, he disappears for a second. He's on the ground and he hits my shin. All right. So I feel a lot of pain in my shin, my knee
Yeah.
area, and it just not making sense. So I go talk to my trainer. We go in at half, and I'm just, man, what did all of us do back then? We started popping ibuprofen.
Yeah, like it's
Advil,
like it's
yeah,
it's all good. Like just
yeah, and I
pop a
just
couple and go
take
out
it
to the field.
in and 10 minutes, just go. Right. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, forget it, bro. Like in my eyes, I was one of the best players on the team,
Yeah.
and
So
that's
you
just
had to be
valid.
out there on the
Yeah.
field for your brothers at that point.
So kickoff comes, boom, gets down at the one. Dude's an idiot in the back. Literally fumbles the ball, muffs it. Guy tackles him right at the one. Coach comes up to me and my QB, looks at me, says, "Get us out of the end zone." I said, "All right, I got you." We're walking out with my QB. Still remember to this day. He goes, "Get us out of here." We dap each other up. I line up in the I formation. He's under center. We're running 32 trap. So I'm going to the right side. Got the ball, biggest hole I've ever seen in my life. Biggest hole. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. I'm going to the
End
crib.
zone at this point.
As soon as I step through the hole, take my left step, somebody grabs my knee, twist. Boom. I felt it all. In all honesty, I felt it all. My ligaments, I feel like they all popped at the same time. I tore my ACL, my meniscus, and I dislocated in the same play.
Oh
Right.
shoot.
And then the dislocation, when I hit the ground, it fired back into place. So it bursted all my patella away. So yeah, bro, it was pretty bad.
So
I
what do
remember.
they say you need like that? That sounds like a whole knee replacement at
Yeah.
that point.
So because I was bigger, I was stronger, right? I had a lot of muscles that helped it, right? It wasn't just my ligaments holding my knee together, it was my muscles. And that's really how it comes to ligament replacement, everything. You have to build up the muscles around it to protect it. All right. So since I already had that, I was walking on it within 2 weeks afterwards, right? I thought I was gonna come back, went to get my MRI, and they're like, nah, that thing's shot. You need surgery. So I was like, all right, man. So I sat out the rest of my junior year. I ended up getting knee surgery about 2, maybe 3 months after that. And afterwards, it was pretty bad, bro. It was pretty bad because I felt like everything got taken away from me.
Yeah.
My one true passion in life. Of course, I love my family. I love this. I love that. But my true passion, my true calling that I thought it was just got stripped away from me. So
Oh, shoot.
I resorted to food. I resorted to TV. I resorted to getting lazy, doing everything that I probably shouldn't have done, but I was still doing it because I was comfortable.
Yeah.
All right. And then after my knee surgery, I started going to PT and I had a very good PT, very good PT. It was at Banner. And it was about my fifth week of training with him, right? Fifth week of training. He looks at me in my eyes and he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Literally, a little kid. And he tells me that, and I'm looking at him like, "Oh, you want me to go get my tata right now? Like, why are you talking to
Yeah.
me like that?" And he's like, "No, like, seriously. Like, do you think this is it? Do you think this is like what you're doing right now? Do you think this is a product to get you back to where you need to be?" And I'm looking at him and I'm just like, no, it's not. He's telling me some real stuff right now. And sometimes in life, you need things like that to spark something inside you. That's exactly what it did. And I started taking my PT a lot serious. I started going to my PT at school. I was training about 3 times a day and just trying to get myself right. Constant movement, getting my body right, what could get right, not so much the knee. But when I first got the knee surgery, my knee was very swollen, like very swollen. So I had to work on that the whole entire time. And then going from 5 weeks to, man, I don't even know why I'm doing this stuff anymore,
Yeah.
to 5 months later, back in a brace, back to cutting and everything was just God.
Yeah,
I
a
can't,
miracle at that point.
yeah, I can't say it was anything else besides that, because I don't know, like a lot of people religious believe, but like the Holy Spirit has guided me my whole life, whole life. And in times when I've been in need, it has showed up,
Yeah.
and even when I'm not in need, I can still feel it. So.
So I always love talking about that. So we're gonna do a little pivot right here. Who are the people in your life that help you guide to live in a way of God, to have that faith? One of my I always bring this up every show. My favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 3, 5, 6, basically saying don't don't trust your own understanding because things are always going to happen.
Yeah.
So who guided you that way so you were even prepared to lean on Him in these troubling situations?
I would say, so I grew up Catholic, right? I grew up Catholic. My non and thought they're Catholic. And when I talk about them, I always tell anybody, like I've said it my whole entire life, if they aren't right down, like by God at a dining table, they're a couple steps down, a
Yeah,
couple tables down, or a couple chairs down, just because the things that they've been through in life, I wouldn't say I was necessarily guided to Christ, right? But I was guided by hardship.
yeah,
I was guided by seeing other people's hardship, whether it be tias, tios, cousins, best friends, this just messing up in life, right? And just looking at that and being like, I can't do that. I can't be that same
yeah,
person. Not because anybody cares, because in all honesty, nobody does. In life, people are living their own life, they're walking their own path, and sometimes people don't have time to worry completely about you.
yeah,
All right. So you have to make the decision yourself. You have to make that choice. And that's kind of what I did, just seeing all the negative and bad in my life. And I would say it's kind of personal, but at the end of the day, my sister passed when I was a little kid. Right. My mom, she took us out to Tennessee with a husband at the time. My sister ended up getting murdered by that husband. She got hit over the head, fractured her skull. My nana and tata drove overnight all day to Tennessee. Got there right before she passed, and that was that. So I feel like that was a crucial point, because I tell people, like, I don't even know what my sister smelled like. So I have to have gratitude. I have to be grateful for what I do got, because somebody that is so close to me, somebody that is my very own flesh and blood, I didn't even get to meet fully.
yeah.
I was alive, right? But I have no recollection. I have no
So how
memory
old
of
were
it.
you when all that was going on?
I was about 1.5. I was about
Oh
one and a
shoot.
half. My sister was about 2.5. I have an older brother as well, and he's 4 years older than me. My mom and my brother's pop separated when they were younger, whatever that story is. And he had him at the time. So it's just me and my sister down here. And
Yeah,
we're bouncing around house to house. And then finally my mom thought that we're just like, we need them. We need to keep them here. And then my mom thought that she was getting better, ended up leaving off, and yeah, all that stuff happened.
that's when your grandmother
My
and
nana.
Tata took over.
Yeah.
You talked about hardships in those situations. I'm glad you talked about that because I keep saying that's the purpose of this podcast because
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that could be going through the same thing
Mhm.
and they don't have the chance to talk about it because they're scared to talk about it
Yeah.
sometimes. So, if you had the chance to talk to someone going in your situation, what advice would you give them?
Um, and just choose the brighter side every time. At the times that you're depressed or you're thinking about life a little too hard, lean on the things that are valuable. Lean on the things that will keep you safe. Not all the extra stuff, not all the extra outside noise, right? When it comes to a football team, when it comes to a championship mentality, it's the team that can block out all the outside noise, all the paparazzi, all the publicity, all, okay, this player might be hurt this week. Oh, he might not be playing. Oh, that can shock a whole team. Oh, that's our star guy. Like, is he really out? No, the ability to block out that outside noise. And that's kind of what I had, right? I didn't, the outside noise, and that it sounds like you don't have a heart, kind of, but it's the ability to be like, no, right? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be a subject of my circumstances, and that's just it. You can't. Life isn't gonna wait for anybody, and we all know that.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of time. We're aging right now. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So we don't have time to sit here and feel sorry for ourselves. Nobody does. No matter the injury, no matter the suffering that you have faced in your life, you don't have time. right? Because one time that you do, it might be the last time. We can all die tomorrow. We can all die in an instant, right? So why feel bad for something that happened such a long time ago? Why not have the ability to say it happened, take ownership of it, and say, okay, it made me who I am right now. I am stronger because of it, and just to keep working through it like that.
Yeah, man, that story is incredible.
Thank you.
Everything you have because you're motivating people going through that,
Mhm.
and it's basically like what my father used to tell me too: just work hard, put your head down, block out. We used to call it clearing the mechanism,
Mhm.
where you're putting your head down, blocking out everything around you. And society we live in now is hard
Yeah.
because, especially in high school, man,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that a quick fix will make you feel good for a second, but everything you said of just working hard makes me understand how successful you were. And we go back to that. Once you got this injury your junior year, was part of you thinking like this is a nothing compared to what I've been through before?
Uh, a little bit after the fact, right after I had the PT talk to me, my own PT talk to me, my Nana and Tata. I've had a lot of moments with my Tata like
Yeah.
this, right? To where it's just like, what are you doing right now? Like, look at me dead in my soul, not just at me as a human being, but in my soul. What are you doing right now? Is this who you want to be for the rest of your life? Is this what you're going to put on the paper in front of God when you get there? Is this it? Right. And I've had a lot of moments like that, a lot of people, right? And people that have been close to me. Not anybody's willing to come up to you and be like, dude, get your act together,
Yeah.
get your act right. Right. But I've had a lot of people come up to me, tell me things like that. I'm just like, all right, man, like, you guys are right. You guys are older than me. Why not listen?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like
It's hard sometimes,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they're coming. Like kind of how you are. They're coming from a place where they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and when it comes to like how you said high school too, I mean, social media is a thing now, bro. Like when we were growing up, like yes, it was a thing, but it wasn't as much. It didn't have as much power as it does now.
Yeah, look at AI, man.
Yeah, man. Like it's feeding generations things that we aren't supposed to be exposed to until later on in life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's constant every single day. You know, I have little cousins at home with my nana and tata right now, just glued the whole entire time.
Yeah.
And then you hear things on there, and then next thing you know, they're coming out saying all these crazy things. You're like, dude, where'd you learn that?
Yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, TV.
That was
It's
the
just
thing.
like,
We growing up, we never did. I know 'cause we were out like
outside.
outside. My grandma used to let us have 30 minutes on the TV.
Mhm.
That's all we were allowed.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time was like, go outside. She used to be like, go break your arm or something.
Yeah, bro. Like we used to build ramps. We used to be on bikes with friends, bro. Just
Yeah.
boom,
They will-
somebody get hurt.
Kids these days will never understand what it means to go over to your neighbor's house and be like, yo, let's go ride down. Let's go ride our bikes.
Let's go find a crazy steep hill and just hope for the
Yes,
best.
dude. We used to have this hill right by my house that was just super steep. We'd ride scooters down there, bikes.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Heck yeah.
So you start recovering, start getting your. What fire did you have going in your senior year? And then were you 100% going into it?
Going into my senior year, the fire that I had was just the fact that I already made it back. Just the fact that I already went through all this trial and I was like, this is my moment. This is my time. Right. And everything else that already happened in my life, it was just like, man, bro, like if this is my last year, if it does happen today, so be it. I'm going to be successful either way. I'm going to be successful with or without football. That's just what I kept telling myself. I would rather be successful.
How freeing was that? Because I know athletes' points going to senior years, like they're holding on to it like this, like, I got to play good for the scholarship. I got to play good for the scholarship. In your sense, you're just like, either way, I'm going to be great at what I do. So,
because like, I don't know, but I saw football as life, you know, after a little while, you know, like I'm choosing to do this right now and it's bound to go away. Right. So what am I going to do when it goes away? It's not, a lot of people say you have to have all your like eggs in one basket. You only need a plan A, right? And that's fine, right? It's true. You should give your plan A your all, 100%, right? But your B, as in like your backup plan, it shouldn't be something to where it's like shunned upon, that it's never looked at, that it's never like, there's never light shined on it. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of it. And then going into my senior year, my first game of the season was just how I tore my knee. It was storming, right? There was lightning everywhere. We had an outhouse. It's still there, right? That Empire has an outhouse. Varsity is on this side. JV's on this side, right? Game gets delayed, right? An hour later. Before the game, I'm already getting eaten alive. You know, well, it's the same weather. But if it happens again,
kind of like the superstitious, like,
But if it happens again, man, like
Were you on the same field or?
No, I was on home field.
Okay.
Yeah, grass field, totally different than turf. But still, bro, like after all the pain and agony I went to, like just describing the pain when I woke up from my surgery, right? The lady woke me up. You know how they put the tube in your mouth to help you keep breathing?
Yeah.
They have to keep feeding you ice, and they have to keep you alive because your body forgets how to breathe with that tube inside you. Right, so they're waking me up. I'm dizzy. I'm drowsy. Right, I'm completely out of it. I can't feel my leg. Right, before I got my surgery, I watched a long needle. Well, long
Ooh.
needle, like yay thick, goes straight into my nerve, shut off my leg.
Nerve blockers,
Yeah.
dude. Those are
Scary.
Those are insane because you can't feel. Like when I had that done on my shoulder,
Yeah.
just feeling like my arm was like dead.
Not
It's
being able
ju-
to move it
No, it's just it's not a good feeling.
And then they go, okay, it's time for you to go home. It's an hour after surgery. All right, whatever. Big guy, big Samoan guy comes in. I got you. Right. He sits me up. He pulls my right leg over. Fine. As soon as he pulls my left leg over, I start feeling a little tingling. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know. He stands me up. Excruciating pain. All the blood rushed back down. Pins and needles just jabbing my knee. Right. So experiencing that, going to my first game was like, oh, man, I don't want to experience that again.
Yeah.
That's the last feeling I want to experience to this day. You know. And then I go over to the JV side of the locker room because I'm scared. I'm not trying to see the guys that look up to me see me crying, right? So I'm crying on the whole other side, bawling my eyes out, not knowing what to do. So I suck it up right quick, go back to the other side, and I call my tata. I go back to the other side, call my tata, and this is another moment, right? A defining moment in my life to where he stopped. He says, okay, all right. I hear you, but look who you are. You know, realize who you are. Realize the work that you have put into this point. You have done everything right. Maybe not that first 5 weeks. Nah, that was nothing compared to the months, right? The sweat, blood, tears that you have put into this moment. There is nothing for you to be scared of, right? It's just like wrestling. You're on a mat, right? You're nervous, this or that. Oh, but you just put in all this work. What's the point in being scared of this person over there, right? You know who you are. Just go out there and dominate. Go out there and show who you are. And that's exactly what he told me. Go out there and dominate. Show who you are. All right. So that night, the game gets canceled. Bro, I was so happy.
Like a relief, like, oh man, like God was just showing me to like relax or something.
Yeah. Game gets canceled, right? We go up next day. We're playing Rio Rico. All right. They come in. It's a Saturday game. It's humid. It's muggy. Field is disgusting. I have the best game ever, bro. Awesome. I had 2 forced fumbles, a pick, and I think it was like 3 tackles for loss. You know, and it was just like at that moment, oh, it woke up, bro. The dog, bro, it woke up.
You were back at that point.
Yeah, bro. As soon as I made my first hit of contact, bro, because I was just like, bro, I have to go out there and rock somebody to get over this, right? And that's what I did. Went out there. They ran like a sweep play. Rico's freaking, whew. I'm running through the gap because, bro, all I did kind of sounds bad, all right? All I did was watch film in high school.
Yeah.
Still did my work sometimes, but all I did was watch film.
You're studying. That's something people don't like doing. So you level up because you're doing something no one's doing.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I watched so much film that the game was moving slower. It was moving way slower, especially at that point. And I realized the importance of watching film at that point because I can see things coming from a mile away. That guy moves. It's like, oh, this is Rouse, bro. I got you. And that's exactly what happened my whole entire senior year. All right. I led the team in tackles. I played running back and linebacker after the hurt knee.
You were playing on both sides after that.
Oh, bro, I was playing both sides, basically. I played both sides my junior year and my senior year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so playing both sides, have a heck of a year, all-purpose yards, everything like that. So it's pretty good.
It was a comeback at that point.
Yeah, it had to be.
That's awesome, man. Real quick, bro, we're going to take a quick break. This is where we're going to throw in our sponsorships.
Say less.
And then we'll get right going right afterwards, talking about after your senior year.
All right, appreciate it.
We are Jet Sports Training, where our mission is to cultivate champions. This is where athletes come to get faster and everyday people come to change their lives. This is not a gym, but a community. Come get jetted. You don't know nothing about me. About to take off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A lot of y'all doubted on me. Now they like, wow, look how far you got. Legendary
legendary like all my idols, coming for it all, and I can't wait. Success just called and I got me a date, so I grab my ambitions and I'm on my way. Cross the wrong line and it's bad news, might get burnt like a candle. We too hot to handle, world at my feet like a sandal. I only move when I plan to, your moves could get canceled.
My name is Philip Aguilar.
Yes, sir. We don't fucking play. We don't fucking play.
Out of the blue corner.
Guys, this show is sponsored by one of my best friends, Erica Sanchez, who's with Brows with Erica. She is one of the best persons in business when it comes to getting your eyebrows done. Make sure you go check her out at 6050 North Oracle Road, Suite H. Hey guys, I gotta tell you about one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu places out there, Nogales Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure you go check them out if you're down in Nogales and say what's up to my homie Andy Behrens.
All right, we are back with Coach Isaiah. Jesus Christ. Isaiah. I still keep those stuff in there. I love the little bloopers like that.
Sounds fire.
Yeah. Isaiah. New nickname now, Coach Isaiah? All right, so your senior year, you have this incredible comeback. One thing I didn't ask you, who was your head coach during that time?
Jeffries, Coach Jeffries.
Jeffries Skirns or no?
No, what's his first name? Coach Jeffries. I don't know, but I just always called him Coach Jeffries. Yeah.
What kind of role did he play in all that? Because for me, I remember when I blew out my shoulder. My JUCO coach and even my own trainer played a huge role in helping me get back. Just a little positive things like, hey, brother, you got a spot here.
Yeah.
You got a spot. Get healthy. You're fine. And for someone like me that's like, hey, it's college ball. They're looking for someone.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone new right before you even get there. That helped me out a lot. So did he play a role in that at all?
I would say a little bit, but not too much, right? He reminded me who I was to the team and what I meant to the team when it came to leadership, bro. Because I don't know, bro, like I've always felt like a leader, right? When other people are down, I've always been able to pick them up. I've always been able to just have something come to my head and be able to shout it out, and everybody just like, oh, okay, let's get after it, right? So I've always been like that. And he just kept telling me stuff like that, like remember who you are, right? Like you're bound to get back to where you were and even better. You know, there's a chance, right? And he kept saying stuff like that, and my athletic trainer, right at that moment, was really crucial too. Her name was Miss Kaylee. Miss
Kaylee?
Yeah.
Shout out Miss Kaylee.
Yeah, she used to work at the Sugar Schools, all these different things
Oh, nice.
after Empire. So
Yeah, we just interviewed their head coach. So.
that's fire. Heck yeah.
So now you're senior. So what's going on at this point? Do you have any offers? I know you ended up in Palm Springs at what's called College of the Desert. I remember I played summer ball for the Power Slam or whatever they call them there.
Yeah.
Place is hot. But so how does that end up happening? What's going on with your recruiting process at this point?
Bro. So come 2018 time, all the junior colleges got closed down in Tucson because of funding. So it was just like, man, like what's next, you know? So I get a call from Long Beach City College, and it's in Long Beach, California. So it's just like, we might as well make the trip. Parents pack up the car, we set up this, set up that, we go out there. Come to find out, California JUCOs don't get housing, right? They don't get a meal plan. Everything's coming out of pocket, right? And financial aid might cover some of it. It's not going to cover all of it, right? So we're just like, man, it's a great school. It's a great school, but we don't know if we can afford it. So it's just like, all right, well, we'll go back home, kind of count our pennies, see what we can do, and we'll go from there. So on the way back home, we drove all the way there that day, stayed there, went to everything. got in a hotel, couple hours away out, and then the next morning I got a call from College of the Desert, and it was Coach Steptoe. I'm pretty sure he's still there. Coach Steptoe. He gave me a call. He was like, "Hey, I heard you're in the area. Wanted to see if you guys wanted to stop by. It's on the way back to Tucson. One of your other teammates just came through here. Let's talk." We're like, "All right." It's on the way back home. 4 hours from home. Let's see what they got to offer. Got there, we had to pay out of pocket still because they don't offer. But at the end of the day, they're giving us in-state tuition because they're the closest junior college to Arizona. So they worked something up. So literally that whole entire year, 2019's team was filled with Arizona guys.
Everyone,
Phoenix,
basically all the
yeah.
transfers from like Pima and stuff like that.
So everybody was out there. So
Yeah.
it was fire, with people from my home. So it's like, why not, right? My QB ended up going out there. I reached out to the coach, got one of my old linemen out there. So I was going out with brothers. So it was like, why not? Why not go experience it?
That's so huge too, as like a freshman, being able to be with your homies.
Yes, bro.
Because that way you're not so homesick.
Yeah.
But speaking about your home, man, one of the best moments I had in my whole career was telling my parents, like, "Hey, Western Oregon offered me, I'm going to sign, I'm going to college."
Yeah.
What was that moment telling your Nana and Tata, "Hey, I'm going to keep playing, I'm going to go play college ball"?
They knew it. After my senior year, they knew that I was going to keep playing. So I wouldn't say it was something that I needed to tell them, right? But it was more so the fact that I was the first kid going to college, right? Like, I remember my signing.
Yeah.
All my family was around me. We're at my tia's house, and I'm just bawling. I don't know why I'm bawling, right? My family's bawling around me, but like, people don't realize that I've already been in these positions or anything, how important these little things are, because going to college, the college aspect, the student athlete part of it, it was more than just football at that time, right? I'm looking around in the room, seeing my little cousins around me. I'm trying to inspire them, trying to inspire them to go be great, trying to inspire them to see my circumstances that I got doubt. I was like, nah, bro, like nothing can deny you. Literally nothing in life can deny you besides yourself. And that's what I was trying to prescribe to everybody. And that's kind of how it worked.
That's all. You're being a leader again, leading by example. So you get to College of the Desert. Talk about that because you did move around a little bit in your college career.
So I get to College of the Desert. I don't start until the fifth game. I don't start until the fifth game. I'm getting thrown in rotation, having hella games, but I'm not the playbook, right? And when you get to college, you look around and you're like, dang, everybody's fast. Everybody's strong. Everybody's good, no matter what level you are. And that's something that I want to like shine light on too, because people see a D3 or NAIA or anything like that, and they're just like, nah, D2s, I don't want to go there. It's not good enough. Oh, I dare you to walk into a good D2.
It's
NAIA.
just, I mean, yeah, you'll have your little difference. Like I was just telling him, no one understands how good you have to be to suck at college sports.
Yes.
No one will ever understand that.
Yes. And it's a heck of a thing because like you got people that have the IQ too already, and that's, I can be better than them. I can be faster, right? I can see ball, get ball. But if I don't get the plays, right? If I'm out there making mental mistakes, I'm not going to play. And that's was my first 5 games. Straight mental mistakes, not understanding the playbook, and then eventually I just dialed in. I went back to the high school Isaiah, started watching a whole lot more film, right? Studying my playbook the way I should, and some way, some form, not starting the whole entire year, still led the team in tackles, tackles for loss, the whole nine. I got All-American my first year there, so it was a heck of a first year.
Yeah, dang, that's a crazy ride from going from not even starting to being an All-American at that point. I want to back up a little bit. What was the first day like? Because that's a lot of freshmen going into college.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're wondering about it because I remember walking in, they had like a team get together at Western Oregon, and I'm like, I used to be like the biggest, one of the bigger guys at Tucson High. Now all of a sudden, I'm like looking up to them like, hey, what's up? My name's Raul.
Yeah, no, man. JUCO's different, right? Because JUCO, you're not gonna have the standout guys. They're not standout guys. These are guys that'll hit you in your face if you say something stupid.
Yeah.
You say something wrong, they'll look at you and be like, all right, bro, you got one more time. So it was one of those things. I'm not going to say that it was ghetto, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people that were there, man, bro, like.
It's JUCO ball, yeah.
Bro, I saw so many fights. I saw so many this, so many that over the dumbest things, So the first day getting there, the slang is different. This is different. That is different. You're getting people from Michigan, Oregon, Washington, way up east, way down west, everywhere, all into one group, right? And then you start getting the culture. Everybody starts kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then maybe that guy's not my enemy over there, So
So it was kind of like survival of the fittest at that point.
because it's only 2 years. It's only
Yeah.
2 years. It's either I'm gonna get mine or you're gonna get yours, and that's kind of how JUCO feels. You don't really. Yes, you build a bond, right? But at the end of the day, it's only 2 years. That's what everybody's thinking. I have to get out of here. Every single one of us are thinking, I have to get out of here. This isn't a 4 year. I don't get to call this place a home for the next couple of years. Nah, this is a one and done or a two and hope for the best.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of how it was.
How big was the roster when you got in there?
When I got there, it was about 150.
For 56 spots, right? So they basically cut 100 kids. Well, it's kind of like that, seeing like, because I remember my freshman year, like, we get to our meetings and you're like looking for that one guy and they're like, oh, shoot, he got cut.
Yeah.
And for me, it kind of made me nervous. I'm like, oh, shoot, he wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
What was going on in your head seeing 100 guys get cut?
I didn't care, bro. I'll be honest. Like, I wouldn't say it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
But like I said, bro, I always knew I was gonna be successful.
You're going to go get yours at that point.
Bro. Like, I was gonna make sure that when I'm in the weight room, I'm making sure the coaches are watching me.
Yeah.
When I'm out on the field, I'm making sure the coaches are watching me. When we're doing the gassers, and you said it was hot, right? We're doing gassers in 120s down the field and back, having them make it back within 30, 35 seconds in 115-degree weather, helmet, pads, full-blown uniform, right?
Dang.
I'm going to be the person that's different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's hot. Oh, I can't. Nah,
Yeah.
bro. I'm going to look people in the eyes and act like I'm insane, act like I'm crazy. Am I dying internally? Hell yeah, I'm dying. I don't feel good right now. Are you going to see that? Nah. No, because the second you see that, it gives you an opportunity to be like, oh, I'm tired too. I can take a break now. I can bend over now. I can take off my helmet. I can lay down on the ground, make it seem like I can't go anymore. But nah, bro, like the things that I've gone through, at least physically, mentally too, both, right? It just showed me that I can push myself a lot further than I even believe right now. Yeah. So that's kind of how it was for me. I was just going to push myself. And there's Will Smith, right? He's talking about how there's a treadmill, right? There's a guy on a treadmill right here and a guy on a treadmill right here. This guy was to compete with him and be like, oh, I'm going to beat you. He looks at him back and he's like, oh, you can try, but I'll probably die before I give up.
Yeah.
That was my mentality. Like, bro, I will croak before I give up right now. Because giving up right now, it's not just going to affect me, but it's going to affect my future, right? It's going to affect my family. It's going to affect my future wife. It's going to affect my kids. Because if I give up right now, what else am I willing to give up on in the future?
Once you start, it's so much easier to keep doing it again. I'm learning more from you just talking to you, man, just how the mindset, like, and I hope everyone listens to this because this is a mindset you got to win, not just in the sport, but in life. So you do your year. So what starts happening? Because now you start moving. There's a lot of moving parts. So what happens after college?
It happened to everybody, bro. COVID came and punched people in the face.
Okay, so now it's COVID.
Yeah.
So is your second year for COVID or?
Yeah. Right. I come back. Right. I have a heck of a year. All-American. Come back home. Train here. Train there. Working out. Doing everything that I needed to. And then I go back out. Right, spring season's happening. We're in spring ball. Everything's happening. Next thing you know, you start hearing the news, COVID outbreak. California borders are gonna start to close down. What the heck, bro? Yeah. Coaches, everybody stay at home. Everybody be in your apartment. Don't come to practice. Don't do this. Don't do that. So eventually, I had to come home. I was like, I don't want to get stuck in California. I can't afford to live out here.
In California, I forgot that year afterwards, California freaking shut down everything.
Completely.
Oh yeah.
California was a ghost land for a little while. Yeah. So come COVID, everything starts creeping up, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Me and my bros pack up what we can, come back home. For a little while, I was still like, oh, we're still gonna go back. It's just, it's nothing. It is what it is. Like, we're not gonna, it's not gonna affect us the way that we think it is. And next thing you know, you're not coming down. Yeah, we're not coming back out. We're suspending the rest of the school year. Everything's transferring to online schooling. Yada yada yada. I was like, damn, man, like this is insane. This is honestly crazy, right? So I have to move all my stuff back from out there. I'm not planning on going back, right? I honestly didn't plan on keep playing, right? Because I'm not gonna. At times, I talk about how I'm strong, right? But it took moments like these when I was weak. Yeah. When I got back from California, it was just like when I hurt my knee, right? Everything got taken away from me, right? I started
Especially after you
smoking.
worked out.
Yeah, I started smoking. I started doing all the things that I shouldn't be doing, right? Because I was exposed to it out there and brought it all back with me. When I was younger, bro, I wasn't exposed to nothing. I was like in a little hut, you know.
Yeah.
My parents kept me safe. They made sure that I knew the repercussions of everything. But you go out to college, bro, you're free. You know, it's the first time you're
Yeah.
free in your life, and you're like, why not? You know, why not? So I bring all that stuff back with me. I start getting big. You know, I stopped working out. I started playing nothing but video games. Started hanging out with friends that aren't really looking out for me, you know. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad for a while, right? And I'll be honest, bro. Like during COVID, it honestly changed my life, right? Because it took me a while to experience or figure out who I really was until COVID, right? Before COVID, I knew I was strong, right? But my soul, you know, figuring out who Isaiah Joseph Sierra was, like it was a whole entire different aspect of life because it got to a point to where I didn't understand why I was here. You know, I couldn't fulfill the dream that I wanted to do for my parents. You know, I couldn't play ball anymore. Bro, from a little kid, bro, I'm not going to say that they're calling me dumb, but I had an IEP, bro. I had an IEP to where every week I was meeting in the office with my parents saying, well, he's struggling here, he's struggling there. So it's like, bro, what can I make of myself right now if I'm already like getting told this?
So in that sense, football was your kind of identity at that point.
For a while, you know, and like I thought I was strong enough to be like, nah, I can do without it. But the second it kind of got taken away, it was like, damn, man, like, what do I do now? I start panicking. I start having bad anxiety. You know, I'm staying up really late at night. You know, it's getting harder to breathe for no reason. All right, so I get to a point. I get to a point to where I start just slipping away, you know, gradually. Stop getting out of bed, stop eating as much, stop doing this. And there was a night that I prayed, bro. I prayed. I asked why I was here, right? And if I didn't have a purpose here to take me, bro, just let me go. If I didn't have a will to live, if I didn't have a reason to live, bro, just get me out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason, right? Woke up the next morning, it was euphoric, bro. I started looking around. I feel lighter. I'm like, all right, I feel like this right now. I'm looking out the window and it's like, damn, the sun's actually beautiful, bro. Like, seeing flies fly around. And I'm like, man, it's a bug, but that thing's alive, you know. And like, I don't know why. Like, it just changed. It changed out of nowhere. You know, being the depressed 19-year-old kid going from one night just not wanting to be on earth anymore to the next morning being grateful for everything I was seeing in that moment, right? And that's the only like I had no other way to put it besides God,
Yeah.
besides the Holy Spirit.
You heard your prayers right there.
Yeah,
Like
man.
he changed. I mean, everyone's that had these up and downs. They've done that prayer. And it's basically just saying, God, clear my heart.
Mhm.
And that's incredible. It's like a snap of the fingers.
Yeah,
Almost.
bro, literally like change it like boom. All right, what to do now? Right, I can't stay here. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Let's put down this. Let's put down that. Let's get rid of everything that's not getting me in the direction I want, and let's lock in. Right, and that's when I found Jet. I found Sam. Right, I start working out. I worked out by myself for a solid 3 months nonstop. I worked. Right, I worked night shifts, straight night shifts. Then I'd get up, go work out, boom, 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 back and forth, just getting my mind right, racking in money, doing what I needed to do, getting ready to go back to ball, right? And then I was like, man, like I can move, but I can't move like some of these other guys can. You know, I might be big and strong, but I definitely can't hit people how I should be hitting people.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, bro, let's look for something else, right? One morning, bro, I wake up, scrolling a little bit before I go work out, see Sam's ad pop up. Give me a call, this,
Yeah.
that, yada, yada. It's like, if you want to get some work in. I was like, man, I'm boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Hit him in the DMs
let me
right
get
there.
into that
Yeah,
quick.
right? He said, come in tomorrow. Say less, bro. Like, I'm ready. Worst workout I've ever been put through. Like, like, bro, like, I was fit, right? I thought I was
Yeah.
fit. But then you get somebody else to train you, get somebody else to really test your mental fortitude and everything like that. It's a whole different ball game.
They're gonna push you to get past what you think is your best.
And they're giving you things that you don't do either. Like you can go to the gym, you can bench, you can do some pull-ups, you can hit a squat, you can do all these other things. But if you aren't doing the little things right, all that other stuff doesn't matter. And that's what Sam showed me, right? And literally since COVID, the past 4 or 5 years, I've known him this whole entire time. He's got me through a lot too. The times that I've had doubt with sports and everything like that. Like just running back to College of the Desert, right before I started training with him, before I went out to Saddleback, right? I got in training with him, and he was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" I was like, "I'm not quite sure. Like, I just want to train until opportunity comes." He was like, "You can have an opportunity, right? But you need a goal. You need a solid path that you need to shoot for right now, or it's not gonna come true." I was like, "You're right, right?" And then next thing you know, things just start falling in the cookie jar, right? Things that I can pull out and be like, "Oh, I can use this. Oh, I can use this." Right. And then my bro, his name's Juan Lua. He's playing out in Germany right now for one of the teams. He goes, "Hey, I'm leaving College of the Desert. I'm going over to Saddleback. I'd like for you to come with me. It's a way better school. This is the only way we're gonna get to where we want to be." Right. And I talked to my parents about it, and they're like, "All right, go take a visit."
Yeah. Where's that? Is that in California? Or
Yeah,
where's
California, Mission Viejo,
Okay.
Orange County area.
Yeah.
So I end up going on my visit. I've never seen a stadium like that before. Like,
Oh,
bro, like
nice.
California, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's tears, do boom, 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 boom. And I'm out here looking at the stage, watching my name slide down on a jumbotron. I'm like, yeah.
They had all that at JUCO?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Oh, my
California
goodness.
JUCOs are different.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas high schools are different, but California JUCOs
Yeah.
are different. And then seeing all these different things, and I'm just like, oh, like I have to do it. I have to do it. Go home, talk to my parents about it, and they're like, all right, let's do it. Right. So I ended up moving out there within that spring, though, right before I had to move out and everything. I was trying to get into the U of A, trying to get into the U of A, trying to play for the U of A, bro, trying my hardest to play for them. Talking to the defensive coordinator. I went to every single spring practice. The spring game was on my birthday, and I still went to the spring. That's how
Yeah. You wanted it.
Yeah, but I wanted to play for my home. I wanted to play for my people. I wanted to put on that freaking blue, white, and red and be like, yeah, I'm representing this thing, And then come Saddleback, I'm like, I gotta make a decision, man. Like I don't have time to wait anymore. I can't just sit here. I gave the U of A all my time and energy outside of my training, but this school's calling me. This school's telling me that I'm guaranteed stuff. Why not go? I go out there, bro. A week later, defensive coordinator calls me. Hey, we're trying to get you back in for one more workout. I already signed a lease.
Yeah.
I signed a lease.
Yeah.
I did this. I did that. I'm sorry, coach. I can't. Best that I can do is just put all my stuff into this one thing and drive with it. Go with it. So that's exactly what I did. I ended up going out to Saddleback. I started the whole year. Led the team with tackles the whole year. But the thing that people didn't see is that I got burnt out before I even went, because I experienced life without football.
Yeah.
I experienced money, right? Because in football or college sports, you're broke.
Yeah. No,
And before NIL and all these other things, you were broke. You struggled to eat. You did this, you did that. And I was having like an identity crisis towards like, I love football. I'm good at it. But at the same time, like right now, I don't really need football. I experienced life a little bit without it. So why not keep going? Why not? All right. So I'm back and forth, back and forth. Crucial moment, right? I'm playing ball. I'm still leading. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Right? Still being myself, but not my true self.
Yeah.
Another thought that moment, bro. After a game, it was a bad game. Bad game for me, right? Missed a couple tackles. Could have got a pick, dropped a pick, all these different things. But it was still a good game, but not to my level of play. Right? Talking to my nana the next morning, hi, sweetheart, how you doing? Being all soft. Next thing you know, hey, what are you doing? I'm just chilling outside. Why are you just chilling right now? What are you talking about, man? Like, chill out. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Relax.
I just played an hour.
Yeah, well, I'm tired. Nah, that's not how you're playing right now. Is not you. He's like, you might as well just come home. Pack your bags. Pack your car. Come home. What, dude? Like, I have no clue why he's talking.
But you're leading. Your stats are incredible at this point too.
And he's just like, the way you're playing right now is not how you play. It's not to your standard. So why keep doing it? If you're gonna play the rest of the season like this, you're wasting our money. You're wasting your time. You might as well just bring your ass home. Literally what he told me. And I'm right here on the phone. Like, why does he have to be right now? You know, like why? Why does he have to be right? Right? And he goes, look, if you don't act right, I'll just bring you home myself. He says, without your choice, because who's paying for that apartment right now? Who's doing this? Who got that car for you, right? All that stuff will get taken away, right? And it's not because he was just being hard on me, right? It's because my level of play, the person I had became, right? That's why I got gifted those things, right? It's not like it was just like a handout. You take this, go. No, bro. I earned everything that I had gotten to that moment. And he said, the things that you're doing right now, it's not up there. It's not the way that you live your life, right? And it's not the way you play the game either, right? Rest of the year, bro, I balled, bro, and I tore my meniscus in this knee. All right, so it was really holding me back that season too.
Yeah.
It was always
Where? How
so.
early did you do that?
I trained it whilst training down
Oh,
in town.
shoot.
I tore it a month before I had to head out to Saddleback.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, bro, my knee was swollen. It was kept getting locked up. Didn't know what to do, and I just pushed through it, bro. Like when we first got out to Saddleback, we're doing all these different drills, quick feet, cutting here, cutting there, and it's just wearing and tearing on it every day, bro. So that was also messing with my mental too, like the pain. Right. So after that, bro, I started waking up early in the morning, getting in the jacuzzi, going for a swim, going into the gym at the hotel, stretching, doing everything I needed to before people even woke up. Because that was the mindset, bro. It's like if I want it, bro, and I got this going on, I gotta do everything that nobody's doing right now.
Yeah.
Right?
First one there, last one to leave.
Literally every single day, right? After practice, I had to make sure I hopped in the ice bath, ice this thing every single day. I didn't have a choice. If I wanted to keep going, I had to do it. Right? And that's how I went the rest of the year.
Yeah.
My bro was leading us in tackles for part of the year, right? After that, I took over. I was like, yeah, bro, I can't sit here and do this no more. I can't sit here and be number two. I'm not number two. You know, I'll never be number two. It's time to get back in my rightful spot. And that's exactly what I did. Started racking up all the tackles, all right, a bunch of tackles for loss, started watching a lot more films. Um, Man, hopefully you can toss one of my film clips up
Yeah,
right
we'll do
here,
that. We'll
man.
make a little overlay of
boom.
it. Yeah, I'll grab
But,
some. I found some on YouTube. I'll grab some for you right
Okay.
afterwards.
But yeah, bro, and then go out to Saddleback. I have a coach contact me. I don't know if it was legal, but I have a coach contacting me from Harding University. All right, Harding University. He's contacting me the whole entire year. Second game happens. Hey, I'm coach. Yada yada yada. Looking at your stuff. I like how you play. Every Sunday at the same time, he would give me a call. Every
Oh,
single
that's
Sunday at
awesome.
the same time, right? So I'm like, man, like it's a great guy. It's a D2 school. It's I don't know what to expect out of it. I want to go D1, but if it's that right, then I'm gonna go. Season happens, right? I get All American again, everything, right? Next thing you know, hey, would you like to get flown out here? Getting flown out by a D2 school? Are you serious right now? Yeah, free of charge. I'll go pick you up. Your hotel's already paid for. Food and everything's paid for. All you gotta do is bring yourself. Oh, I'm
Like, heck
in,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, why am I getting flown out right now, bro? I'm
Yeah.
excited, right? First time flying by myself, bro. Hop on the plane, take off, land. It's in Arkansas, bro. Arkansas, out of all places. I'm just like, bro.
Culture shock was probably huge at that
Bro,
point.
I'm like, what's out here? Nothing but trees, nothing but severe weather. But I get there, have a good time. Coach Simmons, the head coach, he's a good guy. He's a great guy, and it's a Christian university as well. All right, so I get there, move out there, get one of my bros into the school as well. All right, get him into the school. We start talking here and there, and we're like, yeah, bro, let's go. Let's go. We could live together, all these different things like that. One of my bros that went to Saddleback with me. So we end up going out there. We start talking a little bit more. And then eventually we get to a point to where we're both out there. We're both battling for spots, battling up and down on the depth chart, up and down. But for the culture shock part with the Christian university, you had eyes at you all the time. You had to be in bed by 9:30, 10 at the latest. And if you weren't in bed, they're blowing up your phone.
Did they put you like in those apartments that were kind of they were apartments but they're dorms or whatever?
Yeah. Boys and girls separated, across campus. Small little town. You can drive from one side to the other side to get out of it, and it was just a lot because even then, like taking tests, you had to go scan your thumb, leave everything outside the door. Everybody took tests in the same area, in the same computer room, right? So it was
Couldn't use ChatGPT for sure.
Couldn't use nothing, bro. It was straight dome,
Yeah.
straight off the dome, and I'm just right there, A, B, C, C, just hoping for the best,
Yeah.
right? And there was a lot of classes too, right? Like when it comes to a Christian university, it's not like everything is mapped out the same, right? It's not like history is teaching the same thing as your Bible class, right? And at times when I would have these different classes that are talking to me about this or talking to me about that, it's getting into my head like, dang, bro, should I even be playing right now? Do I really want to play? Is this my true calling? You know, should I go use my voice? Should I go motivationally speak? Should I go do this? Should I go become like all these different things? But I'm just trying to play ball. You know, at the end of the day, I'm here to play ball. So being 19 hours away from home, basically by myself, it was very hard. All right, so going through my spring season, I'm talking to some of the other guys. Some are leaving, and I just get put into the wrong crowd, bro. I got too many people around me. Not wrong crowd as in like bad influence in like the worst way, but bad influence is like, oh, let's get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
There has to be something else. You know, if we're not playing here, and I guarantee I would have started, bro, because they went to win a national championship the year that I left.
Oh
The
shoot.
linebackers that were starting, one broke his hand, the other
Yeah.
one broke his ankle. I would have played.
So the fall, like the kind of the time before that, it wasn't going that great in terms of playing time, or was this already when you got right when you got there?
The spring. I was there for a single spring, 4 months, right? Solid 4 months, single spring season, start to finish, best training that I've ever got, and anything like that. So the light really should have shined through the darkness, but had a lot of voices around me. The people I was hanging out with were just so negative, you know, like, oh, they're not that holy, oh, they're this, they're that.
Yeah.
That's just like being around people like that, you don't realize how much it influences you until afterwards.
Yeah. Well, it's that old saying, like if you hang around 5 guys and 4 of them are bad, you're gonna be the 5th one eventually.
Exactly. And then I end up leaving there, right? I come back home. I don't want to keep playing, right? I've already determined that I'm done. You know, I have 2 more years, and I just want to get to work. I just want to make money, get a job, get a house.
Were you
start a
thinking about
family.
finishing college at all at that point? Or?
A little bit, yeah, but not completely. I enrolled into the U of A for the fall, right? I enrolled everything like that, but it was still like the break time before the fall was coming. So it was like, all right, let's just have a little bit of fun. So I'm having fun with friends. I'm going out. I'm partying, doing this.
It's kind of like a
that.
whole, like it's crazy your journey. You have like these real or kind of like test almost, like what I would call them, to see like, hey, is this something you really want? Because I'm throwing all these temptations at you,
Yes.
and you're gonna have a choice. Do you want to give this up, or do you want to go do what I'm calling for you? I'm calling you to do.
And it's been that way my whole entire life, you know. And at that time when I did come back home, I started getting people again whispering in my ear, like, why are you doing this right now? This isn't you. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. You know, my parents, Sam, all these different people were talking to me and just being like, look, bro, you have 2 more years. You really want to look back in a couple years and be like, man, I should have done it. You know, and those things started really eating at me, you know, while I'm doing all these other things. And eventually I was like, nah, bro, I'm going to go ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ball. I have to go ball. Right. But I was already getting fat again. so I ended up getting fat again, bro. And I started training with Sam like last minute again. Train with Sam. He works this. I was with him for about a month and a half, almost 2. And then I end up going. I reach out to a coach that reached out to me before. I was like, nah, I don't want to keep playing anymore. And his name was Coach Plummer from Highlands, New Mexico. Right.
Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Bro. Out of all the places, Las Vegas, New Mexico.
It sounds great till you get there and you realize it's not that Las Vegas that you're thinking of.
Not at all, dude. Not at all. No strip, no nothing.
Oh, that's because I played in the RMAC,
Uh-huh.
and then see Las Vegas. It's a cool welcome sign, but that's the only cool thing about it.
Exactly. Bro.
No offense,
No. Nobody's gonna take offense. They understand, you know. They totally understand. But yeah, reach out to Coach Plummer again. He starts talking to me, and he already had like a little bit of animosity towards me because I told him I didn't want him to talk to me anymore. I was honestly, I don't know if I want to keep playing right now. Can you like stop reaching out? Pissed, dude. He was angry, bro. But I was like, there's one school that I know will take me for sure, and it's that school. Let's shoot. Right, so I shot my shot. He called me one day while I'm working out, and he starts going off on me, bro. I'm over here like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
So why'd you stop playing? Why didn't you want to talk to me anymore? And I guess he was trying to beat out of me like, oh, there was another school, it fell through. But it was I was telling him the truth. I'm sitting here like, nah, coach, I just didn't know if I wanted to keep playing. I've talked to a couple people and they changed my mind. Like they inspired me again, so I just want to keep going. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about, you know, he's one of those, you know, just trying to test me again. Yeah. Well, you know, if you come out here now, you're not going to get as much money as you would have before. Like, I'm like, yeah, but I'm just trying to play ball, so let's rock, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't visit the school, right? Didn't see Las Vegas, New Mexico whatsoever before I went out there.
Were you surprised when you got there?
Oh man, bro, bad, bro. The fact that it was just like Searcy, right? Searcy, Arkansas,
Yeah.
where you can drive from one exit to another and be out of there. The fact that you have all these beautiful mountains, all these beautiful colors, and nothing in a town.
Yeah.
One Walmart, nothing else, bro. Nothing else, you know. And they had good food, kind of, right. But I do get out there. Elevation's crazy, you know. That's the first.
Oh,
thing.
that's
My
a
first
different level, dude.
bro, different. I get out there. I drove the 8.5 hours all in one day. I had to be there about 3 to get my dorm and get put into everything. And I get there, and right away they're like, "Oh, optional running, optional first day running here." And I'm just like, "Man, it's not optional. You always know it's not
Yeah.
optional. You better show up." Go out there. I'm looking at everybody like, "Dang, man." This is where we came, you know. Like I was going from Harding University to where I saw 300 plus guys overhead pressing 315, running freaking 5 flats, 4 8s, you know, all these different athletes, and going to these places to where it was just a tear down.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a big part about it for me too. But it was like, all right, bro, you just have to work. You know, you have to go get yours while you're here, and that's exactly how I kind of locked in for it.
Yeah.
My first year there, man, being totally honest, bro, I didn't play at all. I was a full special teams player, right? So I can't really say at all. Full special teams. I made sure I was on every special teams, but there's people.
What do you
there that were older
think
than
played
me.
into that? Do you think it could be the coach just kind of having a thing, or
I think it totally was. I think it totally was a coach having a thing, and I don't like putting it on people like that because like I am who I am, right? Like I hope that what I have to offer shines through anything like that, but in that circumstance, it didn't because from the very first day I was there, dude had beef with me. You know, very first day he had beef with me, just the way he was talking to me compared to other people. In meetings, the way he would get on top of me about like a minor detail. A couple clips later, this starting linebacker is doing the same exact thing, if not worse, going the exact opposite way, playing like a chicken with his head cut off. Nothing being said.
Yeah.
You know, so that also just drove me crazy, bro, the whole year. And plus his son went there, bro. Like I don't like a coach's son, bro. I don't care what anybody
daddy
says.
ball?
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
straight
we'll
up.
skip out that because I know where that can go sometimes. But so you played you played 2 years there or 1 year there?
2 years.
2 years. So what's going on the next year? And what did you even think about? You dealt with all that stuff. Was part of you thinking like, hey, maybe I should jump shift again, or what made you want to go back at that point?
I got into a good friend group. I got into a Christian men group, right? We would meet every Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays, right? And just having God in my life, discovering who I was more than football and through faith, it was kind of like, I'm going to play ball, and if I don't play ball, I don't play ball, but whatever I do, I'm going to give it my all. Right, I'm not gonna say I shouldn't have because I probably should have, right? But at that moment, I was just like, there's no reason to leave again. You know, I can make this place a home for 2 years, get my degree, and get out of here. That was like my mindset at the time, right? But I'm not gonna say I wasn't hungry because after that fall season, I made sure to come back and make sure I went back out there with like I was gonna be better than everybody.
Yeah, vengeance almost.
Yeah, bro, and I was. Right? I came back. I trained with Sam. I lost a whole bunch of weight, and I was just different than everybody, bro. We're running in the snow at 4:30 in the morning. People are dying. People can't run, bro. I'm taking off my shirt, looking at people crazy, bro. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I went through something while I was gone. Like, I had a totally transformation here. You guys didn't put in the work I did. Trying to make sure the coaches understood that too, always being loud, always rah guy, always doing exactly what I needed to do, right? Didn't matter, right? Because people that were supposed to leave, and this is the thing that people got to realize too, like you get to these points to where it's a business, to where coaches are willing to do things for certain players to keep them playing, right? Yeah. The players that were older than me, nope, nothing against them, right? Great guys. Cut their hair, but I used to chop people up for money.
Nice. Hey, gotta do some respect side hustle, bro.
Yeah, and great guys, right? Bro was 28, had kids at home, right? The other one's 32.
You had a 28-year-old on the field?
32 on the field.
What are you doing at the, like, go get
a J-O-B. Go get a J-O-B, you know?
Yeah, man.
And then they were still there, right? And this is at the end of the spring, right? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I start a little bit in the spring. He backs me off, puts me back on. He's playing with my emotions, playing with
Yeah.
my feelings. You know, you can tell it's on purpose. One day we're at practice. It was a bad rep in general. Running back hit a little move. I hit a little, oh shit, you know, a
Yeah.
little stumble. He took off and he just starts going off on me. Oh, you're this, you're that, right here, and he's in my ear, and then, you know, some things you just have to eat. But I was taking it for so long, and I wasn't disrespectful about it. But I turned to him and I was like, "Are you actually going to tell me something useful that's going to help me on this next rep, or are you just going to keep yelling at me?" He didn't like it.
Yeah.
Starts going off on me again. Oh, get off the field. That's how you want to talk. Get off the field. But that's exactly what I said. Is that disrespectful? No. It's just telling people truth at times they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Some coaches would rather you just flip out, start yelling back at them, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I got that out of him. Yeah, I got."
You
that
got that
out
little
of him."
dog out of them.
Yeah, bro. But I wasn't willing to give that. I'll give no man that power. You know, I've done it one too many times before to where it elevates me and it changes who I am, and I'm not willing to change who I am for anybody. You know, not my girlfriend, not my parents, not friends, family. Who I am is who I am because I choose to be who I am, not because this person's having a bad day, so I'm gonna have a bad day. No, I don't do stuff like that. I walk in my own path, and people call it selfish, but I'm protecting my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm protecting my soul. You know, so we get in an argument. He tries to kick me off the field. His son comes and tries to talk to me, goes off on me again, kicks me off the field. I go home and I'm just laying down in bed. I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, I love this sport, but like I'm just done. You know, I'd rather get my degree, take it back home, and do something, make something out of myself. All right, I'm gonna go in after my. I went to the weights in the morning, went to my meeting, and I told myself after this meeting, I'm gonna go talk to Coach Hud. That's my head coach at the time, and tell him that I'm done. Right after the meeting, all I hear is, "Isaiah, come to my office right quick." I'm just, oh no, like
What's gonna happen
yeah,
now?
how did he know? You know,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, oh, right. So I walk into the office. He goes, "Yeah, take a seat." You know, he was like, "So I see that you're not getting much playing time over there, and you're a hell of a player." You know, and I don't know, like I'm not on that side of the ball. I'm strictly offense. You know, I let coach have his side of the defense and start who he thinks is best, right? But you need to get on the field. So we want you to come play running back. And I'm over here like, running back? Well, I haven't played running back since I was in high school. I played a little bit of running back at College of the Desert,
Yeah.
right? Maybe like a down at Saddleback, right? But that was that. And I was like, okay, why not? If I'm gonna keep playing, might as well come to the other side with people that don't appreciate me. So that's exactly what I did. We had a coach named Coach Garrett, young guy. He was at least 25, 26 at the time. Right, but he was nuts, bro. Like his morning routine, he's up at 4:30. He has black coffee. He's in the weight room. He's there all day to all night. Wakes up, 4 hours of sleep. Tell us this stuff every single day. But that's just his way of life.
Yeah.
You know, some people need that way of life like that. Need structure, right? And every day I was in his office. He's going over plays with me. Well, this is that. Writing everything down. I'm reading it back to him and to fully understand the offense. We have our spring game. Heck of a spring game, bro. I'm running all over the first team defense. I'm doing exactly what I need to do, and I'm just following rules, bro.
Back in the Empire days,
Yeah,
now.
bro, I'm literally just like, see hole, go through the hole, burst, get a little shifty, take off, you know, and that's all I was doing. Come back, I lose a bunch of weight during the spring too. Like I'm at least like 195, and that's the lightest I've been like ever since
You're
freaking
running back weight now at that point.
So 195, I'm moving good. I come back home. I train a bunch, train with Sam. He's trying to transition me from the linebacker life to a running back life, which is relative in a way, but you just have to have a little bit more like fluidity. I don't know how to say
Probably a
it.
little bit more like smoother on your footwork, more of your cuts and everything like that.
Exactly. So come back, work. I go back out there for my last season of playing ball. I'm third string, and then they're just like, well, another guy that was supposed to leave the year before ended up coming back. He was a heck of a running back. All power to him. I seen him do some crazy things. So it's like, man, I ain't mad at it. You know, I could go do that right now. So whatever the team needs. All right. Well, we had certain tight ends that didn't like the role that the team needed. Right, blocking tight ends. Right, blocking tight ends is going over to a 340-man guy and putting your chest into him, putting your shoulder into him. Whatever happens, happens. Nobody wanted to do it, bro. And they're just like,
You're raising your hand right there.
Isaiah, just try it. I was like, man, I need to see the field. It's my last year. Why not? bro, I blocked my ass off the whole entire year. Promise you, bro.
So you were
Promise
playing a
you.
position you never even played. You didn't even get ready for it.
Nope, not whatsoever.
Yeah, so I want you to talk about that because a lot of times, even high schoolers now,
Yeah.
they don't understand how important it is just to get on the field and play any position. So what in your head told you, hey, this is the right mindset, and what would you tell someone complaining to you, like, hey, I'm only a shortstop,
Yeah.
or sorry, baseball terms,
Yeah,
let's
you're
say
good, you're good.
only a running back or something like that.
It's corny, bro. You hear it all the time, but it's for the better good of the team.
Yeah.
You know, if you can fill in a spot and play it to the best of your ability, why not do it?
Yeah.
Why not see the field? You see the guy over there that's in your spot. He's kind of goofing around, but he's still starting, and it makes you irritated. You can't control that. You can't control what he's doing. You can't control what that coach is doing. All you can control is what you can control right now, right? And when it comes to getting in a position, right, that is unfamiliar, that you have to practice, that you've never played before, that you might get hurt doing, why not give it your all?
Yeah.
You know, why not lock in for it and be like, man, I might not be the running back, I might not be the starting linebacker, but I guarantee at the end of the game, that right tackle is going to be talking about me for the next couple days, right? His shoulder's going to hurt. When I come around to block that safety, he's not going to keep blocking me when I hit him. You know, I'm going to hit him that one good time. And
You're going to make sure he knows who you are at that
he's gonna be
point.
scared. You know? So why not play like that? Why not play fierce in every position that life puts you in? Right? And it was like God too at that time, because he already told me, like, you got to be strong in everything, you know, not just some things, not one thing that makes you happy. You got to be strong in the times that you don't feel strong either. Right. In that moment, I was kind of defeated because I was like, man, I guess I'm not a running back or a linebacker. Right. But I'm getting put in a position to where I still get to see the field. Why not excel at it?
Yeah.
Why not come through and be that one guy that hits somebody on the sideline and they're, you know, why not? Why not? So that's how my passion, that's how my sports journey finished.
Yeah. So I want to get into this too, because we talked about this before we started. There's a certain thing that happens to you once your playing career is over. What was going on in your head? Because we look at your journey. You've had all these ups and downs when football wasn't there. And you're doing great for yourself right now. When you were done, what were you telling yourself to make sure you didn't fall back to where you were before?
Just keep giving it effort, right? Waking up every single day, trying to have purpose. And I tried for quite a while. And I was in a bad situation with a female and everything like that. I moved in with her. Everything was good at first, but then, you know, end of football, I'm going through things mentally. She finishes school, moves back home. You know, things just aren't clicking. So I'm sitting in a dark apartment by myself, right? Just thinking, what am I going to do? Where is life taking me right now? Every time that it seems like I'm coming close to graduate, something's going wrong, right? My last year to graduate, all I needed was one class because I missed it the year before. So I had to wait a whole entire year because they only offered it in the fall, right? So, like, it was just setting me back. I'm like, I have to stay out here again? I have nothing going for me. I don't even have football going for me out here. The number one thing that was keeping me out here, right? And I owe a lot, right? I got to give a shout out to my dog. His name's Ajax, right?
Yeah.
He's a German Shepherd Husky. Had him since he's a puppy, since my College of the Desert days. And he went to every single school besides Harding with me.
That's awesome.
Right? So I owe a lot to that man, because if it wasn't for him needing to go to the bathroom, I probably wouldn't have left the crib. I wouldn't have gone on a beautiful walk every single day and got outside. You know, so I owe a lot to that dog. I really do.
No one understands how important dogs are until you find that one dog that's just like your ride or die.
Yeah, bro, loyal to the T. You walk into a room, he's right here.
Smiling.
Yup, hey. I saw you 2 minutes ago, but hey. You know, humans aren't like that.
Yeah, because they're just always, like, doesn't matter what kind of day you have, bad, good. That dude's just right there, like, ready to cause craziness and just be... Yeah, I got a husky and golden retriever mix.
Yeah.
And I got a lab and German shepherd.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's a mix, but my lab and German shepherd mix, God, That dude's like,
I think it's a German Shepherd, bro. German Shepherds are just loyal to like a fault,
Yeah.
bro. They just they pick their human and they're just like, oh, this is my person. Like,
Yeah.
this is who feeds me, takes me for walks. Like, why not be happy when I'm
Yeah.
around him, you know?
that's awesome.
But yeah, bro. Football ends. I kind of get in a dark space. Started gaining weight again, not working out as much, playing video games. Another time to where like I was tested, you know, and coming to finish school, I'm talking to my nana about life all the time, dude. I'm staying up late at night, just being like, I don't understand it. You know, I thought I did everything right. You know, like what's going on right now? Why haven't I finished my path that I'm on here and on to the next?
Yeah.
All right. So I come back.
Before that, I want to hear what she was telling you during that time. Like, what advice was she giving you?
She told me to break it up in smaller increments, right? Instead of thinking about a year, think about how many months are in a year, how many days are within those months, right? And just break it up. Take a look at it a little smaller instead of looking at it so big. Bigger pictures can be scary, but when you shrink it a little bit, it's not that bad. Yeah. It's just one day at a time. One day, one day, one day. One day went from, okay, man, I got 3 months out here to, sheesh, I have 4 weeks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, going through those 4 weeks. Oh man, I only got 2 months left. Okay, that's another 4 weeks. Let's just get through this week, then we'll get through next week. 1, 2, 7 days. All right, man. That was a pretty good week I just put in. Let me just focus on the next week. Yeah. Just little things, bro. The little things can go a long way. And that's what she's always told me my whole entire life. Like, instead of just, it's easy to be paranoid about the future, right? It really is. And in some ways you should be, right? In some, not all. Right, when you're paranoid to the point to where you're trying to absolutely make everything happen the way that you want to make it, bro, it's the future, bro. You can't control anything like that. I guarantee all of us, no matter what the plan is, we're gonna get a hurdle thrown at us, and unless we're ready, unless we're prepared, it'll knock that whole entire future course off.
I always call it curveballs from heaven.
Literally, you know. And those are the things she was telling me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what starts going on now? Because now you're at the point where we're about to finish. What kind of accomplishments was that? Because I was researching you. They talked about you first one to go to college. Now you're the first one to finish your degree, man.
Before we get into the degree aspect of it, I went to a camp, right? I went to a camp afterwards. I went to a BCA Lions camp. It's a camp that the Canadian Football League, you know, and I realized it soon that it was a business. It was a free agent camp, right? Free agent camp, wasn't supposed to be anybody there. Everybody showed up with an agent, you know, and it was just like, man, like, how are you supposed to stand out when coaches already have people's names? They already have this, they already have that, right? Go through the whole camp, get about third quarter of the way through, I get cut because they're doing cuts.
Oh, just like just
like
one day they're like, you're out?
No, it was okay, what's your number? 354. Yeah, you're out of here. Literally, I'm watching kids fall. Like when you said cuts from a team, right? I didn't worry, right? But when I saw the first wave of people get cut and they were pretty good, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. This is serious, right? So I go to this camp, get cut. After that camp, I come back home and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm lacing these things up.
Oh, yeah, that's when you said it was. Yeah. So I messed up because I should have known that. But when we go backwards, kind of, you think about your last game at New Mexico, New Mexico Highlands. How long was it till that camp? And were you in shape at that point? Because we talked about how you started kind of eating again, doing video games. What was going on at that point?
Man, it was about, I would give it 2 months after to where I got the notification for the camp because one of the guys that goes to Jet plays out there. And I was out there and I was just like, man, why not? You know? So I had a good like month and a half to get ready. Came right back home because I was only taking one class, right? So one class at the end of the week. At that time to fill in a spot to keep my degree and everything and my FAFSA working. So I was still out there. I was working, right, for the school. So I was just like, look, I need to go home. This class is online. I'll be okay. So I came home for a month and a half while still doing online school, keeping up with everything out there, go to the camp after training here. And I was in pretty good shape, but definitely not the best shape that I could have been in. You know, so the preparation wasn't all there. And after that, it was just like, man, the ringer that my body has been through, right? Because going from college to the desert, well, no, in high school it started. I used to hit people, right? Hit people and my whole entire side of my neck would shut off, right? I go out to saddleback and that's when it gets worse, right? I actually start having fear that if I hit somebody again, that I'm not gonna be able to feel my hand. Right? It's not gonna come back because I would hit people and I would feel pins and needles, literally just stabbing from my neck down to my fingers. Right? It got so bad to the point to where I couldn't feel the tips of my fingers. Right? So I was just like, man, I don't know if I should keep playing. I don't know. So just going through all that stuff, I just finally had the realization afterwards where it's like, man, like I love the sport, I really do, but it's time to go give back in a different way. It's time to go figure out what else this thing in life is about, and that's kind of how I went from there. And then I was just like thinking about it in small increments, just how my nana said, "All right, I get my degree when." That's not bad. I can stick it out. I can keep working for the school. I can do what I need.
So you went back after your trial. You went back to the school.
Went back out to the school. I still had my own apartment, and my apartment became like how I got through it. Well, I would say this first. Like, I tried to go watch a practice. I tried to go watch the boys practice and everything like that. And I would just get all antsy. I would start moving my knees, start twitching, and I'm just like, I would storm off because I was just so hungry for it still. And I didn't think I had it inside me. So eventually I had to stop going to the practices because I was like, man, it's giving me way too much anxiety right now. Let me go focus on some other things. So I had my own crib. It was a little hangout spots for like some of my best friends that I met out there, and they just got me through everything. When it came to heartbreak, they got me through it. They kept me sane. They kept me strong. Especially with being able to be around men. Instead of going and seeking it out in other things. So being around that helped me. And then when I got my degree, it was like, man, bro, like when I got the confirmation saying you finished school, you have no college debt, I was just like, man, I did it.
Was it all worth it at that point? Did it finally feel like
Yeah.
everything I went through from the time I was 1 years old, what you dealt with, to now, did it feel like, all right, finally, I got this piece of paper. It's worth it at this point?
I would say it felt like it was worth it, but I also like had it in my back of my head like the job's not finished. You're not done. That was the only way, literally the only way that I was able to get to a point where it's like I was sad, I was depressed, football was gone. I got my degree, started getting happier, started hanging out with more friends, going to more Bible studies, going to more groups and stuff like that, to the point where it was like, man, this is what life is really all about. Like being able to fall and get back up, being able to fall and get back up. Like Rocky when he's talking to his son.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not it doesn't matter how many times you can get hit, it's about how many times you can get hit and get back up. Right?
Yeah.
Like it just rings in your head, bro, because life, like, it doesn't wait for nobody. It doesn't stop. There's not a big old red sign right there and be like, okay, you can take a break here. It just keeps on trucking, no matter how much you look at it.
You don't have a. That's the one thing I tell my athletes. 'Cause I coach at Tucson High. It doesn't matter how bad that game's going. No one, the coaches, umpires, your parents shouldn't either, is gonna stop that game and say and try to make you feel better.
Yeah.
So you have a choice. It's just like what we said in that Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Can you get up after getting knocked down?
And sometimes a knockdown really does hurt. Sometimes it really does deal some damage. But if you can find the will to get up after that really bad knockdown, man, you'll be so much stronger afterwards. I really do believe that.
Well, you're proof of it, man, because you've done so many things where majority of people would just try something else and quit.
Yeah.
And you kept putting your head down, kept grinding it out, and kept working to get where you're at now. And I wanted you to go into what you're doing now, man, because you're doing a lot of great things at Jet. Tell us how, I know you worked out there a lot. Tell us how you ended up becoming a coach and what's going on with all of your athletes as well.
Well, I got my degree in human performance and sport with the Hampton of exercise science. So it's basically, it is the field that I'm doing right now. And I pride myself on that because a lot of people don't. A lot of people get a degree and they don't use it, and when it comes to, I've been at Jet for the past 6 months, right? I've been there since January, right? And just started January 1st, been trucking along since then, right? And not to fill my own tank or anything, but I came right back home and got a job, right? Got a job that was new, right? Because I was scared of life for a little while. Why do most people keep playing sports? Because life is gonna come around the corner, and when it hits, it hits.
And it's
Right.
not like any other game that any of us has ever played before.
Never, ever have played before. Like we might have been playing it our whole entire life, but our parents were there, right? Big figures were there to help us, mentor us, and everything like that. And there still are, but not in the ways that they were.
Yeah.
Right. So just to fill my tank, right? I came back. I got a job right away. Right. I've had the job consistently. I started paying for my own bills. Right. I just moved into a townhome and everything like that. So life for me, like it came really fast and it's stressful at the end of the day, but like it's happy, bro. Like it's awesome.
You're moving forward. You're moving up.
Yeah, I didn't falter. I didn't fall. Like, yes, I was back home with my parents for a little while, but next thing you know, like, bro, you're out of there. You're doing all the things right, and it gets hard, right? Like even right now, bro. Like, I'm not gonna say like I'm 100%, right? I'm always happy. I'm always cheery. Like, there's sometimes that you have to fake your feelings just because you have so much weight on you sometimes, right? But even then, you have the weight, and you look at the other side of it. But like, bro, look what I've already accomplished. Like what, look where you've gone. Look where you've taken your parents, where you've taken your folks. Look where you've taken people around you, and not only just physically. I'm not just talking working out, but like traveling and all these other things. But at the same time, mentally. Like the fact that I'm a person people can come up and talk to and have a total problem, a problem that they're dealing with in their head, and I can just be like, all right, man, chill out. Let me tell you a few things and help you out. That's what I'm priding myself on right now. And to talk a little bit about how I came to Jet, we talked a little bit earlier about how I started training with Sam. I trained with Sam the past 4 years. He's a great trainer, great guy. Don't go look for him. Look for me though. I'm competing with him now, but you know, great guy. And I saw how he affected people. I saw how he changed lives. I felt the community of a bunch of people coming from different corners of Tucson, way up north, way down south, corners coming to one group and work out, bro. Not just any workout, a workout that you were willing to look around and being like, this may be the hardest thing I'm gonna go through this week, this month in my life, but I got that person next to me, that person next to me, and they're all doing the same exact thing. And that's what I was craving, bro. That's what I wanted. Like before I came over here today, that's exactly what I had. I have a group at 12. It's a mix of collegiate and high school athletes, right? And just watching them work, bro, it's different. It's different because it just came from a couple weeks ago, a bunch of new kids. What's your name? Is that not really talking to all of them having fun? All of them pushing each other, putting weight on the bar, and everybody standing around just like a football weight room, just like a baseball room. Just getting everybody hyped. It's fire. And last week one of the kids was like, "Do you like this?" Because I'm smiling, I'm laughing. Do you like seeing us in pain? I was like, nah. You want to know when I will be happy though? And he goes, what? When you guys start sending me the tapes, when you guys start sending me you guys lifting people up and putting them on a back, because that's a product. That's a product of the work that you've put in. Like, yes, I might be giving you the formula that's been passed down to me, right? I might be giving you the formula to go get better, but at the end of the day, it's a product of this formula, right? It's the product that has made this company, Jet, so much money, right? And it's not the money, right? But even then, we've had star athletes come through this place. We had Olympic athletes come through this place, and we still do to this day, right? People in the NFL come back and train here, right? It's not just some little town, bro. This is Tucson, Arizona, and Jet has put their name on the map. They have, bro. And why not be a part of something like that? Why not be a part of something that makes you kind of tingle inside, make you excited, bro? Like, why not? Right? So that's kind of why I've stuck with it, bro. It's just like,
You're growing the community while you're doing it too. You're giving kids, and I think that's the main thing. Because we talk about like our core values and everything, our community. You're doing all this and improving these kids' athletic abilities while building the community. You're bringing kids, like how you said, from South Tucson, North Tucson, and at least in the baseball world, those kids don't normally get along. But you put them in a place where there's that common goal. Oh man, seeing it, like I just seeing it, kind of being around for 3 weeks I've been. Everyone's heads down, but they're having fun. Heads down is mean like all they're focused on is getting the job done. But they're coming together, growing together, and just all fighting for that common goal is incredible.
The number one thing that I love about Jet, right, and I loved it too when I trained there, was the mental fortitude that it builds, right? Because you are put in situations that you think you're gonna die. Like
Yeah,
literally,
I know what you mean.
like you're put in situations to where you're breathing heavy. You can't calm down. You can't calm down. But then you glance over, you see that guy, and he's looking at you crazy because he's fine. And you're just like, all right, let me chill out, right? Or you're getting pushed so much, 3, 4, 5 times a week, to where in the future, when you're in your game, it's that fourth quarter. You're outlasting not only your team but the other team, right? You finish playing football, you finish playing softball, baseball, volleyball, football. We have everything in there, right? You finish playing because you've developed that mental fortitude. You can go attack life a whole entire different way,
Absolutely.
whole entire different way, and that's why, bro. Like I cherished it because I didn't have things like this growing up. I didn't get exposed to this until I was in college, right? Little kids that are exposed to this now, like I'm not a preacher, bro, but I try to preach like the importance of it. There's people out there that are in wheelchairs, right? People out there that can't breathe by themselves. People out there that can't eat by themselves, right? But what can we do, right? We can do all those things. So why not use it?
Being grateful for the little things. One of the things I used to do at Marana, I used to make my kids write down 5 things they're grateful for. Can it be anything to do with sports? Can it do anything with girlfriends? Can it be anything that could be taken away in a second? You're not saying like vision, that stuff can always be taken away, but it's a little bit more less likely. So I would tell them it has to be something like your ability to smell, your ability to walk. And then I told them you just gotta be great. Even if it's the worst day ever, you gotta be grateful for things that seem like common knowledge to us, like being able to walk. Just like you said, there's people on wheelchairs just grinding it out to still play a sport, and we get to do it at a better, like physically a better place than they do. Man, that's awesome. So being there, you have 2 leaders like Jose and Bobby. I want to finish up with this. What's the main thing you've learned from each and one of them?
Uh, Urgency, right?
Speed.
Yeah, bro. Like you have to have it, and like I said, life doesn't wait for anybody. That's exactly what they preach. They want you to be a man of your word, and you have to be a man of your word to survive in that place. Like you have to be on top of your game. You have to be making those phone calls. You have to be reaching out to your kids extra, right? You have to be making sure they're okay because that's what made them who they are, right? So why not listen to them? Why not do all the right steps that they already did, right? Like I talked about the formula earlier, right? They're passing it down to us coaches. See what it did for them.
Yeah.
You see the pictures on the wall.
Follow the script.
It's all there. It's all there. So why not do that, right? And just to individualize both of them, right? Jose, for me, is a good mentor in a way to where he's gonna always be on top of me. He's always gonna make sure I'm doing the right thing. He's gonna check up on me. He's gonna make sure that I'm okay doing what I'm doing, whether it be on a laptop trying to figure something out, or even just simply as that exercise right there, like you should try this instead. You got some bigger guys, so this that. So he's always there with me. And he's probably the number one guy that I spend the most time with too. And then when it comes to Bobby, we were talking before we started, and I was like, man, he's psycho, but he really
in a
is,
good way.
but in a good way, like it takes a certain kind of somebody to do what he's done, and I respect it. I respect all of it, right? Because like even the little things that he sends us to read, right? It's not like he's just telling us to read it for no reason, right? You read it, you listen to it, and you're like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense why he is the way he is, right? And he talks about how you kind of have to be paranoid sometimes. And you think about paranoia, it's like skits, like
Yeah,
what's
like
gonna
always
happen
worried.
later,
Yeah.
But that's not what he is. Paranoia in a sense to where like he has to get things done, right? Because if he doesn't get things done, it's gonna affect him in ways that he doesn't want to affect him. And like we have meetings here and there. We have staff meeting. We have individual meetings, and every meeting that I've had with Bobby, I respect him 100% because of it. Right? He's always started off with, "How are you doing? Business aside, this aside, that aside. How is Isaiah Joseph Sierra doing right now?" And that's always been more important to me than anything, right? Because if you have a man sitting in front of you that's willing to ask you about your mental, that's a good man. Because
good leader.
Good leader, and most people don't do that, right? Because they have so much going on in their own life and all those other things. But He's running a business right now. He has a family. He has so much going on in his own life, and he's still willing to ask those questions. Yeah, that's why I respect that, man.
That's incredible,
Great guy.
man. Yeah, man. The whole group. I'm like, I'm the brand new guy, but I'm only
Yeah.
around for 3 weeks, and just seeing everyone, I'm like, it's filled with different people from different parts of Tucson. Sometimes, we branched out for our colleges, but we all got the same goal:
Yeah,
get kids better at their athletic sports and build a community.
yeah.
I know we got the core whole values too, but in my idea of seeing everything all breaks up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you bringing it
Thank
on,
you,
man.
brother.
I love your story, man. I can't wait
Appreciate you,
to
brother.
share this out to the community. How can people reach you? And this is a part of the show where you can always shout out people that you want to shout out.
Okay.
And you can look at your camera right there
Look at my
too.
camera right there. Okay, I'm gonna shout out my Nana and Tata for making me who I am today. Shout out Jet in general. Shout out Bobby, Jose for giving me the opportunity that they have. Shout out this man right here for giving me the opportunity to share my story. And I'm a coach at Jet, so if you ever need a call, you never need help, whether it's mental, right? I want to put that in the forefront, right? Because a lot of people don't talk about the mental aspect of being an athlete or just being a human in general. I'm always here for that. And when it comes to the sports specific stuff, I'm gonna get you stronger. I'm gonna get you bigger. I'm gonna get you faster. So just reach out, and I got you.
Yeah. I remember him before Sam.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you guys. We will be back next week. We had a U of A softball player coming in. Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
sir. Thank
Peace.
you.
Dog.